Nima, I see you made it here. Can you speak so I can hear your audio?
Yes, hello. Let me say hi, hello everyone. Thank you. I'm a little bit late. Yes, sorry.
No problem.
Okay, and what I missed, you introduced me already or not?
Yeah, let me just say, Nima is a scholar at large, currently in Montreal, and having escaped political persecution in his own country. And I believe, Nima, you have you're going to read something that you've written for us.
Yes. Thank you. I got started as a newcomer into English-speaking countries. You must be too kind to be patient because I'm not very fluent in English. But I published on my Facebook a long text. After that, I fled from my own home country when I was in Turkey yet. And it is a long text, but I made it short to read for you about my personal experience in solitary confinement that I think has some indications for our topic right now here. On 20 February 2021, which means less than 2 years ago, I woke up sooner than ever, hearing that someone was ringing the doorbell. I had no idea who were behind the door. They were security officers of so-called Islamic Revolutionary Guards, truly labeled as a terrorist organization by Federal State of America. They are actually a big cartel with gun, an armed organization having a fanatic religious ideology with worldwide terrorist missions. Qasem Soleimani was one of their generals. Dr. Artis, you know a little bit about my story. After that, I opened the door. I found myself in solitary confinement as a so-called pre-trial detention for 4 weeks, 28 days, I mean. Considering the limited time we have, let me leave the details of the story and tell what is relevant to our topics here, hermeneutics in real life and at the time of war. I can go on, but do you prefer me to stop right now? It is enough.
Yeah, no, keep going. This is wonderful, Nima.
Okay. When all of a sudden you lose your regular everyday life, it takes time to recognize the new situation. Seems like taking a psychedelic drug. You would be shocked, and cognitive parameters of your mind drastically change, and it will take some hours to remember yourself, your personal identity, personal ego. And remembering your personal ego normally requires some kind of reconsidering, which may lead to a better picture of yourself. Inside the cell, it takes for me at least 3 days to start asking myself, where is here, where am I? Who are these guys behind the cell door? Did I commit really bad things? Have I not been just a writer who was supposed to be a professor in philosophy in my own home country? In solitary confinement, you have too much time to think about everything. I was practicing yoga, which was a great help. And you have a yoga position. You tie your hands from behind and try to pull your upper body downward while sitting, and your nose goes forward as much as possible. I wondered, didn't you do the same? Yes, you did this, putting your nose into people's business. Are you not the one who took the political discourse seriously more than the others take it? People cry in taxis, in streets everywhere when walking, giving some negative comments about the state, but they are living out of this jail with actually no problem. being a little bit angry, showing lack of satisfaction is an integral part of the regular life, part of the normal gesture, maybe. There is no obliteration of any so-called ordinary referential function of language in recourse terminology, because there is no discourse at all in the strict sense of the word. Therefore, no poetics too. That's why they can speak about politics with no real output. You did too much, I was wondering. You produced critical content for more than 10 years, not only towards their political life, but their lifestyle. They may not be so angry they look. I've not been a member, let me mention, I've not been a member of any political party, never ever. Not even an employed writer or editor in any big or small journal. I've been just an independent writer who wrote under his own real name, plus my photo beside my texts. These officers could not be proud of themselves because of arresting me in my own apartment in Tehran. How can I be a threat? By producing rather philosophically complicated texts against national security, referring to Harold Laswell, for example, in describing the concept of garrison state, or explaining, for example, Freudian viewpoint of revolution. Could it really be a threat against national security or a violation against regular order of people's life? For years, I was receiving comments that you wrote tough, difficult to understand what you say. Apparently, these officers managed to understand me and recognize me as a danger. What about people then? How many of them even have heard the news of my arrest? Was it really a news, my detention? And how many of them will decide to move to do something for me? Who will solace my old mother? And who will be my brother and sister in such a catastrophic situation? I didn't condemn myself because of my passion towards language. Man shall not live with bread alone, but with words. But my words may not bring any light to others, but to myself, with these everlasting LEDs inside my cell. Do you prefer Cell to continue, Dr. Artis?
Nima, do you have a few more words or would you like to wait?
Yes, a few words, okay. I knew nothing of what was happening outside of the jail till the end of 4th week, when the chief officer in my case come to say last words at 28th night before my freedom on bail. According to his duty, his job, he was supposed to spread a paranoid atmosphere between people, to interrupt the course of people's mutual understanding, and to publish fake news against activists in order to prevent them from being people, from being united. Agents of this part of this organization are supposed to spread violation without any shot and before any shooting. And they do this by graying the words and creating false stories. However, he was not in the interrogation room. The agent, I mean, he was not in the interrogation room to do exactly what he had to do. He told me for the first time after 4 weeks that all the big Persian media abroad published the news. Just 5 or 6 hours after that, you got arrested in your apartment. And some well-known figures and activists reached angrily to your detention, and Kimia, your girlfriend, or any name you put upon this kind of relationship, didn't leave your mother alone. She was the one who followed your file in the court very bravely, where nobody stands for nobody. You won't, he told me, forget her. And let me tell you that he was right. He had earned a PhD regarding my subjective and objective life, and he knew me well. But I showed a stern face, trying to hide the huge emotional waves behind my face, trying not to cry in front of them. That night, I came to know the power of language once again, and to endorse the magical potentiality of contributing to a discourse. What I confessed during solitary confinement didn't need actually to be confessed. Because as a writer, I had nothing to hide. As a writer, I just wanted to be understood by people and wanted to share what social life revealed to me. What they confessed in front of me at 28th night, however, was a great secret. That by means of language, you can even challenge the ethical world of fanatical people and can impress even your enemy. The light of language can pass over the walls, even if they are as tall as a prison's walls. That's why this experience means a lot to me. It dispelled my doubt in the potentialities of language and made a dramatic moment in my personal life. Thank you. This is the short version of my story in solitary confinement, and I'm ready to continue with you experts. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very interesting to me. So Dan, I hope I answered your question, and thank you, Nima, very much.
Yes. So Stephanie mentioned several names, and so if anyone would like, I think Jennifer, definitely, I think it would be great if you would respond to Stephanie, but also Dan, if you had a follow-up, and Nima, if you'd like to jump in, but anyone, anyone should jump in at this point.
May I add something?
Please.
Thank you, Stephanie, for your attention. And let me add something. This kind of people, this so-called Islamic Revolution Guards people, I mean, they have normally a very restricted sexual life because of their religious education. For example, it is illegal for them to have girlfriend, and they cannot put positive value on having girlfriend and making love with girls before marriage. And then my Persian tongue readers can understand what happened exactly. He came to me in solitary confinement and told me that this girl helped you and you won't forget her. This is a part of my text that is very dramatic for Persian tongue language. And let me say that I was receiving comments from so many people. I didn't know them. And all of them telling me that it was very shocking, and we shed tears before we get at the end of your text.